Hello and welcome everyone to the Break Time Podcast. Here we just kind of chill and talk about whatever interests us. We'll start somewhere and see where it takes us. I'm Ryan, and as always, I'm joined by my two good friends, Jake and Eric. I'm going to say it in that order because Jake is next in the hosting thing. So actually that means that every time I say it that I'll always say Jake and Eric, actually.
Yes.
Does that mean I should say Ryan and Jake?
You can do whatever you want. I have some idiosyncrasies about myself that I just like, well, it just seems like it like orderly, like kind of compulsive things.
Does that mean I should remember your names?
That sounds like it'd be pretty valuable, yeah.
Okay, I'll work on it.
That sounds, I mean, we've been doing, this is the 15th episode that we've done, and we've known each other for longer than that.
Yeah, I mean, I usually have notes in front of me, so.
Really?
Yeah,
You're
it
like,
helps.
On our little screen with all of us there, you have to have like Post-its above each of our heads.
Yeah,
to
I have
say,
a little.
like,
I have a little Post-it that says one with the collar, Eric. One with glasses, undistinguishable. Not a true hint.
You have to put a Post-it.
Those are my
in
only
your
two
own
notes
self,
I
so-
have. I work out who's Ryan throughout the show.
I see. I mean, I feel like it should be pretty easy. I mean, Eric and I sound pretty different from each other, so...
Are you sure about that?
Was that you trying to imitate me?
No.
Okay.
Did it sound like it? I
don't know. It sounded like you were trying to make your voice like a slight bit deeper, like you were trying to imitate someone.
Yeah, who would even try to imitate Ryan, right?
Yeah, who would even try to imitate Ryan, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Nice. So anyway, now that our host has abandoned any attempt at making a topic, tell me, what are your favorite ice cream flavors, you two? I love chocolate chip.
Cherries Jubilee.
Cherries Jubilee.
I
From
don't
Baskin
know.
Robbins.
That's a tough question, because I like a lot of ice creams. I don't know if I'd be able to point out a favorite.
You wouldn't be able to point out, like, not even when you were a kid?
I don't know, because, like... It depends on my mood, I guess, because, you know, I'm everywhere from, like, oh, I like Oreos, and wait a minute, I think I know. There's, back when we were in university, there was a little ice cream shop there. I think we went to there sometimes. What's it called? Mission Street Creamery?
Yeah, they're good. I like them.
We went there. The main thing that I remember doing is refusing to eat something that Jake did not want to eat because he's gluten-free, and then I felt really bad because I was all like, oh god, what if he thinks I'm some kind of jerk now? But
wow, you have a high opinion of my memory. I don't remember that happening.
Well, you see,
What
I
even
think
was
that
the
everything
food?
could possibly... It was like, you had got like a piece of waffle cone in whatever you ordered, and then I was like, I don't want it yet, and then you're like, oh, not yet, and then you like went off and gave it to someone else, and then I realized, oh wait, he's gluten free. He was trying to give it away, and I just sort of left it on his plate for him, and I was like, I forgot. Shoot, am I a bad friend now?
Wow, I can't believe you've reminded me you're a bad friend. Yes, I have been harboring a grudge this entire time.
No.
That's why I haven't bothered to
Why?
learn your name.
Mission Hill Creamery, not Mission Street Creamery. Mission Street Barbecue, Mission Hill Creamery.
Yeah, that
And
ice cream shop was good.
Yeah, there was like a certain flavor of ice cream there that I really liked because it essentially just had everything that I liked in it. It was like a vanilla or a sweet cream ice cream that had like Oreo and peanut butter cup or peanut butter and then chocolate and caramel in it. And I was like, man, this is like really indulgent, but this is the thing that I really
Was that
like.
one called like the Cookie Monster, or am I remembering wrong?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to. I'm looking, trying to find it right
So
now.
I feel
'cause
like my old
remember
roommate ordered that one.
One of the ice cream shops in Santa Cruz also had a 420 flavor, which was like very similar to just like a giant, super indulgent, everything is in here kind of flavor of ice cream. And I don't remember if it was this place or a different place that I can't remember the name of. I think it was Farrell's, maybe?
Yeah,
I
there's
don't know.
something, I think. There's Farrell's and Marianne's, maybe.
I don't actually remember going to ice cream with you guys.
We went
Was
there.
was I there?
Well, it was our entire. Remember the trip? We were just talking about this off camera, where we had like the Sonic
Was
movie
this
get
was a
together,
Sonic?
right?
I thought
that
we
was an
went to-
entire thing. We did a whole bunch of stuff. We had like
Did we
dinner.
do ice
Did we have
cream?
dinner first? Or
I
did
know we
yeah.
had dinner. We had.
I thought those were
we
two
went-
different trips. I thought we saw the Sonic movie, And I thought there was also a trip where we had dinner and then we had ice cream.
No, those were the same trip. That was everyone. So we had like a table for 8 at that Thai place that's really good. And I don't remember if we saw the movie first. I think we saw the movie after we ate. And,
I think that was before.
No, yeah, sorry. We
before.
watched the movie first, and then we went to the Thai place. And then after that, we walked down the street and went to Mission Hill Creamery. Yeah. It was an entire thing. And
Yeah, that was a nice time.
It was fun, and I'm pretty sure I mostly organized it. I think
Nice.
It makes sense. I'm the leader of the group, or something.
I remember the Thai place and the Sonic thing, but I don't remember the ice cream. And
Did you just say Thai place?
What?
Did you just say Thai place?
Yes.
It's pronounced Thai, Eric.
Thai.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Thai place.
That's where you order thighs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love ordering
It's like
thighs.
it's like Wingstop, but for thighs.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
called
the
thigh stop. That's a real thing.
Thigh
Yeah.
It's actually a real
Thai
thing.
place.
No, that's not where we went to. We went to a Thai place,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
a
yeah.
Thai place.
But no, that ice cream-
Keep your weird preferences to yourself, Eric.
Ignore me. Anyways.
Yeah, at that ice
Didn't
cream
we
place,
also-
I think I got a Turkish coffee. It was quite good. You could get affogatos there too, and they were really nice.
Just to make sure we're talking about the same ice cream place. This is the one that had Guy Fieri on their wall, right? Or they had pictures of him on
They had
it?
a
don't
giant
remember
mural
that.
on the wall with lots of famous people in it, so there's a solid chance that Guy Fieri was in it.
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay, I think we're talking about the same one. Yeah, I don't remember going into there. Maybe I didn't order ice cream. Maybe that's why.
Maybe Eric wasn't
Maybe.
invited.
He was definitely there.
I was
'cause-
there.
Yeah, he watched the movie with us, and we ate there, and we had food.
I
and
felt
then
like
we went
some
to get
people
ice
left
cream.
early.
I don't think so. I think everyone stayed. I think everyone tagged along until it was just
Really?
time for everyone to go. Yeah,
Everyone ate dinner, I'm pretty sure.
yeah. And then I remember distinctly that I actually miscounted because someone said something. I think it was Jake's fault.
Oh, bummer.
And I forgot to count one person, and so we had to add. And it was no big deal, but at the same time, like, it's kind of an inconvenience if it's like, oh no, actually I miscounted. There's actually like X amount of people instead of that -1, and you're like,
I actually do remember that. We had a chair at the end of the table.
yeah, we had to add another chair. But that place is really good. I mean, I've gone there multiple times, and it's always good.
Yeah, it was
And
nice.
This
Usually I'm
also
not.
continue.
Yeah, usually I'm not a huge fan of Thai places. It's.
Thai
Am I saying it
places?
wrong? What is wrong? Thai.
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 Thai?
You're doing great, Eric.
Think of it like the neckwear. What do you call the neckwear that you wear at like a formal event?
What? A bow tie.
Take away the bow.
Tie.
That's how you pronounce it. I know that there's a TH there, but the
need
H is
help.
silent.
I need some help. I need a lot of help.
You're doing your
What was,
best, Eric.
what was I saying?
I don't know.
Talking about the Thai place.
The thigh place.
Oh yeah. Usually, now it sounds like you're saying Thai with a TH.
No, I'm saying it to make fun of you, though.
Yeah, it was strictly offensive.
Hey, no, that poking fun, not offensive.
It was an offensive move.
I
You could take
guess,
offensive
yeah.
moves and defensive moves.
Yeah.
But anyway, the
you-
Thai place.
What was I saying about the Thai place?
I wouldn't know
I
yet
did
who said
again.
it.
I did it again.
Yeah.
The-
I guess we know what's on Eric's mind.
No. This isn't how it's supposed to go. I thought Ryan was the horny one here.
Wait, what? How am I? Why am I the horny one?
Ooh, is that a bullet point to add to my notes?
What? Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Okay,
right
I'll
down,
add it right
down.
now.
What is? Why? What would have tipped you off that I'm the horny one? This doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
Anyways.
Yes, Ryan. Okay, yes.
What?
you're right. I know your names now. Okay, go on.
Yes, I was talking about the bow tie. The Thai place.
Yes.
This is terrible. I hate this. Yeah, the Thai place. Usually I'm not a huge fan of Thai food. It's like the the spice they use for like pad thai is like very unique to
Oh,
Thai
yes.
food.
Pad
Where
thai.
yeah, usually like the spice they use is very unique, and it's something. It's like a little strong to me for some reason compared to like other like just like regular spicy from like a pepper or something. But first, I like this Thai place. No, I did it again. Bow tie. Thai.
Yeah, I love their
This Thai.
curries there. I really like
Yeah.
many of their curries there over rice.
They're all
It's
quite good.
excellent.
Yeah,
That
it
makes
was
you
the
realize.
first-
And one
the
of our
first-
co-workers' friends' orders that he shared with us was papaya salad, and he ordered it very spicy. And I'm like, I want to know. And I ate it, and I was dying. And then they were just like eating it like it was not a big deal at all. And I'm like, damn, superhuman.
I don't even think I touched it. I think it was on the other side of the table.
It was pretty powerful stuff. It was right next to me. It was tough because it tasted lovely, but like I was dying. And they were laughing at me.
Are people who like spicy food masochistic?
Well,
No.
If they like the pain, if they feel pain from it, maybe. But if it's just like yes, I like the way it feels, not necessarily painful, but just like the taste of it or the something like that.
See,
I don't
like,
think that's necessarily masochistic.
speaking from experience, it's more like, see, I like spicy food. But
I do too.
if you regularly eat spicy food, whatever level you eat spiciness of becomes not very spicy food if you just eat it regularly. So I think that a lot of people just slowly escalate their spice tolerance. Because, like, I've definitely had years where I ate a lot of very spicy food, where I had a much higher spice tolerance than I do now.
That's interesting because I'm not a fan of spicy food.
Mhm.
It's hard to eat. It makes you cry and sweat. But I have one friend who can. So there's this place we like to go to called Ramen Nagi, and you can adjust how much spiciness you want in your ramen. I like a nice one on my spicy. It's just a little bit to feel something, but not that noticeable. And maybe like every few bites, ooh, that's a little hot. I'll rest for a bit. He gets a 10. I get a 1, he gets a 10, and I don't know how he. Yeah, their spiciness level at Ramen Nagi goes up to a 10. It's insane.
I'm just surprised by one spicy. Ooh, that's a bit hot. I gotta take a break. Just kind of seems like a weird thing to me, because I don't know. It's a very odd. The way I'm picturing it is that
I mean,
you
it's
eat it,
as
you get a little
opposed to
bit
a
of
0,
spice.
I suppose.
I guess you could also get a 0, but also I feel like a little bit of spiciness adds to it. But the image I have in my mind of ooh, that's a bit hot, I got to take a break, is you like pushing the bowl and like sitting for 5 minutes while like you just kind of take a little break and then you start eating again.
Not like that. More like usually when you eat, you like eat for a bit and stop. Usually, right? Kind of like that. Just like take a breather, drink a little bit of water, and go back to eating. He's just my friend is just downing a level 10 spicy ramen like it's nothing, and he doesn't even feel a thing. If I was eating that ramen, I'll be like sweating.
Death.
So I would be dead. I'll be sweating so much. One of my other friends does it too. When he eats spicy food,
Yeah.
he just sweats profusely from his forehead. He needs he needs an entire table's napkins just to wipe all the sweat away. How spicy. Because of how
There's
reactive
that much
he-
moisture inside him.
he is a moist boy, I guess.
Moist.
That's very gross. Please don't say moist boy ever again.
But yeah, it's certainly like a thing where you build tolerance to, and different people just like the feeling of it being spicy, and then just progressively eat spicier and spicier things. I mean, I eat like a good amount of sriracha like every single day because I love the taste of sriracha, and to me, sriracha is just like not spicy anymore.
Yeah, I don't think it's spicy either.
I do think sriracha is too spicy for me. I think that's probably like the level the level before sriracha is probably what I'd be comfortable with. Like kimchi.
I don't know. To me, all levels are just more or less sriracha.
Everything just has the
Yeah,
same
you can measure
heat
everything
level
in
as
sriracha. If it's 100% sriracha, that's spicy. If it's 1% sriracha, it's mild.
Nice. So wait, you mean to say that sriracha is your maximum? Like you won't that's you won't go above the sriracha level.
Oh
of
no,
heat
I'm
and
just
spice?
saying that like if sriracha is too spicy, your solution is to put in less sriracha.
Ah, to dilute
Uh-huh.
it a little bit.
Makes sense, I guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess this is, I don't know. I don't know what to say next. I didn't think of a topic, but
Come on,
I mean,
host.
Come on, look at
well, I
me.
didn't have a.
I'm always organized with my hosting. I
Okay,
always have a
the thing is
topic.
that you don't have to come in with a topic, though. You can
Mm.
just be all like, let's just talk about whatever. We just spent a bunch of time talking about ice cream, and somehow we ended on sriracha and spicy stuff, so that's
Yeah,
kind of
that's
cool.
fine too, but I like having a topic to stay organized.
Yeah, but like,
This is
hey,
a
you know, we'll start.
personal
What did I say in the intro again? We'll start somewhere and see where it takes us. That's in the intro. We do that. That's what happened. We ended up in a
yes.
really weird place. Whoa.
Yes, I remember saying that too last week.
Yeah, and also, well, in the case of the topic episodes, even then, things just kind of went somewhere else anyway.
Talk about whatever the fuck you want.
So, do topics actually matter? I don't know.
So anyway, Bridget's drive.
Oh yeah, that is a thing that is that happened.
She's in Stripe now. Yeah.
Yes.
Yo-yo
And
boy is now yo-yo girl.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really. The thing is that I honestly, when I was watching that breakdown video and the trailer, I felt nothing because I was just like, yeah. And that mainly has to do with just like my opinions, with my feelings over Guilty Gear Strive in general, where nothing. I've gotten to the point where, like, you know, nothing to me is all that interesting, and so I kind of. It doesn't elicit any emotional feelings in me, I guess.
I'm happy to see Bridget because I like Bridget. I tried pretty hard to play a lot on Bridget in Plus R, and it didn't quite stick. And I like Bridget's theme in Plus R. I like Bridget's design in Plus R. I like Bridget's theme and design a lot in Strive. I think they're cool.
I do like Bridget's idle
Soundside.
animation in this game, though. It's such a refined version of her original idle stance
She's just
in the
grooving.
X2 games. Yeah, it's great. And it looks so good. I don't know. There's something about it that just looks so amazing, and I love that that's in there. It's probably like I don't care about any other animations. That's the only animation that matters
That's the
to me. The
animation
fact
for
that
you?
that's there. Yeah, that's
Nice.
it. That's my favorite animation in all of Strive currently because it's just like, who would have thought that just a character would just be doing a little tiny like shuffle dance in their idle stance?
just grooving.
Yeah, it's great.
God, my favorite thing about Bridget is how she just like occasionally reminds you that she's just a murderous bounty hunter, psychopath.
Yeah, you know, it's like, wouldn't you like some extra bloodshed with your beating?
It's like, God, you're a creepy child.
Is
Is
she
that
a
what she-
child still?
Wait, is that what she actually says?
Yeah, one of her, because she's a bounty hunter, right? So one of her actual lines that she says, and she says it in that in the English version, but of also, you know, same thing, Japanese. It's a translation. So yeah, one of her lines is where she says it in a very delightful voice. Would you like some extra bloodshed with your beating? And she just says that to a lot of characters.
Yeah,
I'm
I
pretty sure
mean,
when
coming from Plus R, where I don't speak the language of most of the voice lines, it's like every once in a while you learn something new. But yeah, it really is obvious with some of her voice lines that it's just like, hey, I'm here to remind you that I'm a murderous bastard.
yeah, my freaking yo-yo has is a
Yeah.
freaking revolver barrel in it.
Same magical technology as Soul's gun lighter.
It's actually not. It's the Bridget's yo-yo is not one of the outrages. Of the outrages, there are like 3 that are unknown, but there are several that are currently in use. The fire seal, or I forget the fuenken in Japanese. The fire seal is the one that is the basis for Soul's current weapon. Believe it's the junkyard dog Mark something, or it could not be. It may not be that anymore. I don't know. The thunder seal, or the huraiken, which is the sword that Kai is using again because the Magnolia Eclair broke in Exard. And then you have the Zessen, which is the wind fans that Anji uses, and they amplify his wind magic. And those are the ones that
You gotta really hand it to this weapons maker who's like, okay, we made a sword, cool. Magical item that makes fire, so it's like a weird arson weapon. Okay. Let's make a fan next.
Yeah, well, Soul's the one who made the outrages, so it's on him. I don't
Soul's
know why he did
weird,
it.
dude.
Hey, yeah,
Or
he
should
does a
I
lot of
say
weird things.
Frederick?
Frederick Bulsara.
Frederick Balsamic.
Bulsara. You know, Freddie Mercury's real name is Farouk Bulsara,
Yep.
and Freddie, Frederick, and so essentially, in the Guilty Gear universe, Soul Bad Guy is just what if Freddie Mercury was in the future and could use
Yeah.
fire magic.
What
And
if Freddie
that's
Mercury
Soul-
was like a magic sci-fi scientist?
That's what Guilty Gear is.
Yeah.
So I mean, that just shows how much like Dice
Can't
Game
believe Guilty
just
Gear is
loves
just a
to-
Freddie Mercury fan fiction.
It is. It's all just a Freddie Mercury fan fiction. Everyone is every character, as far as I can tell, is based off or has a name or something that is based off of some has some musical reference in it. So yeah, that's what the entire. It's Guilty Gear is just a giant world that is just a constant battle of the bands just happening,
Yeah.
where every character represents a band.
Really a time to be alive.
Having a good time, having a good time.
Well, yeah. I don't know. We should. I'm not. I would. As much as I would love to sing that song, we might get struck for it. So let's probably not.
Oh well.
Copyright struck. If your
Struck it.
singing is good enough, then we're going to get destroyed by copyright.
Yeah,
'cause we're
that'll be
"You
like a
can't use that
compliment."
song."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but then also it's a strike on our account, and we can't. And the episode will have to be taken down or something. So, as much as I would like to,
As much as you'd like to receive the compliment, there's consequences for the compliment.
as much as I would like to receive the compliment and also sing on the podcast, yes, unfortunately, we cannot do that. Or we could just not have it on YouTube and just have it somewhere else. We are on all of your favorite podcasting platforms, after all. So we can
So-
just not have it on YouTube.
We still missed out on our karaoke that one day.
Yeah, but also it was late, and we had to make a reservation, and we were already there after
And then we
closing.
just didn't.
We didn't do that, yeah. But we can do it one day when we're able to, once we have the ability to venture out into the world and meet up again.
Once we're all within 100 miles.
Yeah, when is that ever gonna happen?
Oh, I don't know.
Somehow, some way, maybe, but I would love to do karaoke. We could do a karaoke thing at my place. Oh yeah, that's right. I guess we have technically it's a sound system and there's mics and you can sing into them, but I don't know.
That sounds
See, I
like
don't
all
know.
you need for karaoke.
I guess that is all you need, yeah. And you can just link your phone to the TV and you can play YouTube videos of whatever of karaoke versions of your favorite songs and just sing to that.
Just write a little program that generates a random number and then records it as your score.
Or we can just not do scoring. We
No,
just be
no,
like,
there
yeah.
is scoring. It's just random.
Well then,
Don't tell
what's the
anyone it's
point
random.
then? What's the point of that then? It doesn't. I'd rather just be like, yeah, we're having fun. We're
Oh
cheering
yeah,
each
no,
other
that's
on.
all. It's all good and fun. But
Yeah.
then someone wins.
And then it makes it not fun anymore.
Nah. Their prize will be peanuts.
On the bright side, at least, since we went to that Thai place, we know for sure that no one's allergic to peanuts.
That's true. That's the surefire test to see if you're allergic to peanuts is to eat.
Yeah, that's
peanuts.
that was part of the weeding out process as a part of this company.
Yeah, the other way to do that test is to go to Five Guys.
Yeah, we go to Five Guys or a Thai place, and if you die, then obviously you're not on the team anymore, right? That's how.
Yeah,
it
you have
works.
to be able to use our equipment, which is constructed entirely of peanuts.
Well, you run the risk, since other people might like peanuts, that you might die because you're touching the same equipment that someone that had
That's
touched
true.
peanuts had been using, and you're like, oh no, now my hand is dissolving.
Oh
I'm
man,
not
that's a
complying.
brutal peanut allergy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Just melt in the presence of the nut.
I thought Five Guys was a burger place.
It is a burger place, but they fry their fries are fried in peanut oil.
Oh.
I mean,
Yeah, I
and more
remember that.
importantly, instead of decor, they just have industrial-sized boxes of peanuts,
Yeah.
and you could just
You
munch
also,
on them if you feel like it.
yeah, there's peanuts literally everywhere in every Five Guys restaurant.
Like the floor is just caked with like peanut shells
Yeah, why is that? Why are people allowed to do that?
because there's so many peanuts. They're like, whatever,
Yeah,
man.
but
It adds to the
there's
decor.
no.
They're adding to the ambiance of peanut.
It just makes everything look gross and messy, but I don't like it. I don't like that. The
It
thought
really
of that.
makes you feel like you're eating a peanut.
It's the same kind of image where you go to a restaurant in China and everyone's just spitting on the floor.
What? I've never heard or seen of this.
I don't know exactly, but I remember like in middle school, one of my friends who hadn't taken a recent trip to China had apparently witnessed something like that where he entered a restaurant and people were just spitting on the floor. It might have been like a local place rather than say like a tourist place, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how this stuff works. I've never been there. But that's what I was told
That
some
sounds
time ago.
That sounds very strange, even to me. I've been to China, I've been to local places, I've been to tourist places. I haven't really seen anything like that before.
I don't know. That's all I've been told. I don't
Maybe
know.
that
Take it with
kid
a
in
grain
middle
of
school
salt.
just complained about it, not knowing it is actually the famous spit on the floor restaurant.
It's possible. It's still really gross. The spit on the floor restaurant.
I haven't heard of the Five Guys peanuts on the floor thing either. Races I haven't been to one before.
Yeah, no, I assure you that one is real. As someone who's been to many Five Guys locations, there are always boxes and boxes and boxes, literal tons of peanuts.
That's so weird. I didn't
It's just their
imagine for it
decor
to
is
be a
peanut
peanut
boxes
place.
and they're open.
That's so weird to me.
You're
At
right,
first
it's weird
glance,
to me too.
at first glance, it does not look like a peanut place.
Well, I don't know why they decided that their entire
No, it's
theme was
like, no,
peanuts.
you misunderstand. They are a burger place. They don't serve
Yeah.
peanuts. It's just, there's a fuck ton of peanuts and you could eat them if you want.
Yeah. They're
Unrelated to
complimentary
the burger
peanuts.
place.
Yeah. But also they fry everything in peanut oil, so that's also like
Yeah, maybe
I
that's
don't.
why they do that. Or it's
But I
completely
don't.
unrelated and they're just like, boy, howdy,
I
peanuts.
feel like that has to. There's a reason why. There must be some connection, some kind of association or correlation that like I don't know. Maybe they thought like Five Guys will be the place. Will be the peanut burger place. I don't know why, but like it seems to be a running theme that everything about that place has
I don't
something
know.
to do with peanuts.
Some madman magician in marketing realized how incredibly cheap buying peanuts in bulk is and decided that it'd just be cheaper than decor and cheaper than appetizers and it would look good to have like just free food there. And
Do you think?
they're just like fill the room with peanuts, dude.
Do you think Five Guys presses their own peanut oil because they just have that many peanuts? Or do they also order
thing is,
peanut oil
peanuts,
alongside
like-
their peanuts?
Peanuts last so long before they go bad that I don't know if they'd have any pressure to press the peanuts. Ha, pressure. But I mean, I don't know if it would even be monetarily worth it for them to press their own peanut oil, because both peanuts and peanut oil are cheap.
Well, there's probably a reason why it's cheap. No one's buying it because it's a giant allergen.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very relevant. Why? It's a very relevant. Pretty. I hate to say call it popular, but it's
Yeah.
it's common. I guess it's a common allergy
It is.
that a lot of people have. That it's just kind of like because like I can't go there very often because you know I can't go as a family or I can't grab stuff for the entire
Yeah.
family because both of my siblings are allergic to peanuts. So
Yeah, it really is a shame that so many people are allergic to peanuts, considering just like how efficient of a foodstuffs it is. Just like economically to grow peanuts is like excellent. It grows great on exceedingly shitty farmland, makes it better farmland, and it's really cheap, and it grows almost everywhere.
it does make me wonder though. I mean, there are people that obviously have a nut allergy, but I feel like of all of the various different nut allergies as well as peanut allergies, because peanuts are a legume, they're not a nut. But why are peanut allergies? Why do they seem to be more common than any other nut allergy?
I don't know.
That's a peculiarity.
Allergies are really freaking weird. They could literally appear or disappear at any time at your life with no indicator and no genetics. It's just like this weird, constant, like very low stakes gamble that all people have throughout their lives to randomly develop allergies. Really for anything. And you can be allergic to most things, I mean. It's just weird. And it could be any, like, amount of severity. Like, I am exceedingly mildly allergic to gluten, you know? And that one is borderline genetic, even though that neither of my parents have it. But me and my sister do. Allergies are really fucking weird, dude. And people are allergic to things for different reasons, too, and in different ways. Like, I am allergic to peanuts because not peanuts. I'm allergic to gluten because my immune system thinks it's a disease and it tuckers itself out if it's constantly trying to, like, white blood cell away the gluten in my body. As opposed to other things which just literally give you a rash where your skin is just like, this is death and irritant. Remove.
And there's like also people who have multiple allergies or have like an extremely long list of allergies.
Yeah, you could get any amount of allergies at any time in your life.
Like, what are the odds of someone just ending up with like, yes,
with a billion allergies? Pretty low.
Yeah, like I'm allergic to not me, but I know someone who is allergic to like peanuts, corn, God, what else? Those are the two that I remember, but she's allergic to way more than just those two things. Peanuts, corn.
Ones that affect your life the most are like soy, egg, are probably some of the worst.
My sister is also allergic to soy, but she's not allergic if it's fermented soy. Yeah. So she can eat miso and soy sauce and things like that, but if it's not fermented soy, she breaks out.
If it's soy used in like a lot of processed foods. Is that a problem?
Yeah, a lot of stuff that has soy in it, she's not allowed to eat. So we have to be very cautious when buying stuff. But it's like, it's okay. Yeah. I don't understand why soy is so popular. It's the same thing with like we also can't buy vegetable oil because vegetable oil, despite being called vegetable oil,
has soy.
Soy. No, well, it's just straight up soybean oil.
I see.
So we can't use it to cook.
It's just the cheapest thing that's legal now.
Yeah, I don't understand why. Like, why is it advertised as vegetable oil when the only ingredient is soybeans?
I don't know, because they don't want people to associate it with anything in particular, just the generically healthy vegetable.
Yeah, is vegetable oil some kind of propaganda, some kind of thing to shield the masses from the truth?
The only vegetable that exists is soy.
I mean, Crisco was originally cottonseed oil, and it was very exciting because it was one of the ways to actually use another part of cotton, which was very widely grown in the slave plantations at the time. But eventually it's turned into various other oils as cottonseed oil was deemed more or less unhealthy, borderline poison, that sort of thing.
Wow.
I mean, there's massive demand for fats that are solid at all temperatures, just because it could be used so efficiently with processed foods. But the overwhelming majority of them historically have a short amount of time that they're in circulation, because as studies go on, people find out that they're radically unhealthy or cause long-term health problems, and unfortunately it's almost impossible to avoid them at this point, just because they're so thoroughly circulated. Right now, the one that gets used is palm oil, which is there are these. I think they're actually palm trees, and they have these fruits that look vaguely like coconut, but you open them up and there's just like disgusting slime grease in the middle, and that's palm oil. I think it's vaguely orange in the middle.
I can't say that I've encountered anything. Well, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that we're pretty adamant about just like, well, of course we check a lot of labels because we have allergies in the family.
Yeah.
How did we get here? Why are we
man,
talking about allergies
allergies,
all of a sudden? We
classic.
talked about Five Guys because we talked about because we were talking about Thai places and we're like, the way to weed people out of our development team is to feed them peanuts and see if they die.
True. Yeah,
thought
I
you were
mean
talking about
that's
Bridget.
why we had to downsize.
Yeah. And the strong survive.
Yeah. I mean, it used to be twice as large of a team before we went to that Thai place.
Yeah, no, it's a
Yeah, we
tight-knit
left
group.
half of our team at that Thai place.
Yeah, they're all gone.
Yeah.
Aren't we lucky?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think luck had anything to do with it, considering that we perpetrated the test in the first place. Is this some kind of is that a thing that you could do in a death game scenario? Like you force everyone to eat peanuts and like 50% of the contestants die because they're allergic?
I mean,
we-
you could do that. I don't think it's that high of a percent. I think
Or you'll get
I think
some
people allergic to peanuts is more like 5 in 100 or less.
See, maybe I'm up in the numbers because I think it's that common. Mainly probably just because I'm surrounded by people who can't eat them that I just think, the entire world must be just like this.
Yeah, I feel like I have no way to back this up, and I don't know if this is an outdated and out-remembered statistic, but I feel like the one I remember is 1 in 3 people have an allergy of any kind, and overwhelmingly it's a grass allergy or a pollen allergy. Pollen allergies and grass allergies are weird though, because like there's a difference between being allergic to them and everyone is like very vaguely irritated by them, just because like if a chunk of plant life enters your eye or nose, you will be irritated, but that's not an allergy.
Yeah, it's if it's noticeably irritating
Yeah.
and causing
Like
issues.
like how people can be allergic to bees, which is much different than just the general irritation of being stung by a bee.
I know for a fact that I'm not allergic. I've been stung twice, and I'm alive still. So
I don't
Yeah,
know if
I-
I've ever been stung by a bee.
I have once.
No, I
am
certainly
not-
have.
It's painful. It really
Yeah.
hurts. It's hard to get a
It
stinger
is.
out too.
hey, that means that it's
Yeah.
an effective defense mechanism.
Yeah,
For the-
Is it
for
the
good of
bee
the hive.
dies?
for the good of
For the
the
good of the
hive.
hive. That's like I forget what the name of those organisms are called, but
Hive
the ones there's an actual scientific name not called the hive mind, but it's it's like kind of the opposite of how humans tend to operate, where self-preservation is usually a priority.
Yeah.
Whereas in the case of a lot of hive mind animals like bees or ants, they're full, for some reason they have this innate instinct. It has something, I don't know exactly what it is.
Their
But they
innate
just have
instinct to
this-
not fuck it up for every other one.
Yeah, they're just if their sacrifice would be for the good of the hive, they're willing to do it, and they just disregard any sense of self-preservation. I feel like it has something. I don't remember exactly, but I feel like it had something to do with the fact that it has to do with the fact that they're a hive mind. But the way that like queens work in that is that essentially bees can be born without. Bees can reproduce without like a sexual reproductive process. Technically, the queen lays eggs, and if the eggs go unfertilized, they're born female. But if they are fertilized by a drone bee, then they are born male. And so it has something to do with the fact that all of these bees, most of the bees in a hive, are essentially all half clones of the queen.
Yeah.
That accounts for why they have such a hive mind, for the good of the queen, for the good of the hive, and that's why they're willing to sacrifice themselves.
Yeah, and most insects that work that way, when there's just no queen for an amount of time, just chemically one of them is just chosen as the queen, and then they just turn into a queen version. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Life finds a way. You know how Jurassic Park or just frogs, because that's the basis of why Jurassic Park ended up being destroyed or ended up having problems.
Yeah, this is quite a bummer.
Yeah, all because
Why couldn't it have
all
just been a
frogs
fun
are born
dinosaur
female.
amusement park and just worked, man?
Well, the thing is that they tried to make it work. That's what they did, but for some reason the scientists didn't think that, like, they didn't think about what they were doing with all, like, we're going to supplement the missing parts of our dinosaur genome with frog DNA, not really realizing that, what if the parts of these DNA is the part that also makes the animals change gender if there is a giant gender disparity?
Scientists, friends, please just use chickens. It'll be easier and you won't have that problem.
Well, I don't know. For some reason, frogs. Although chicken, like the thing is that I don't even think that frogs are even
No,
related to
chickens are
dinosaurs.
like one of the closest things we have to dinosaurs right now.
Chickens are way more closely related to dinosaurs than frogs. That's very odd. Michael Crichton.
I mean, the
What did
other
you
side
do?
of it is their dinosaurs' closeness to birds and frogs. When was Jurassic Park written?
I want to say
Like
sometime in
decade?
the 80s.
80s? I mean, that was
Let me
less
see
common
here.
knowledge than it is now. Like,
Jurassic
even as
Park.
early as in, like, the 90s, like, I think people... I don't know about the cutting edge science.
1990.
I don't know about the cutting edge scientists. I'm sure they had some clues, but, like, most people, even, like, scientifically minded people, weren't too tuned in to how dinosaurs were almost birds.
Some dinosaurs were very bird-like. That's
Yeah.
why um, we have an entire division of dinosaurs called bird-like hipped dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I forget the name. I'm gonna go look that up right now. Bird-like hip dinosaur. What is the name of this thing? Ornithischians.
Ah, yes, that one.
Ornithischians. Yeah, they have bird-like hips. And they're bird-like. I forget which ones they are, but there are some for sure. There's gotta be, right?
There's many dinosaurs that are like birds,
Ornithischian
is what comes to my mind.
dinosaurs. Which ones are ornithischian?
I think there was some revelation in like the 2000s or 2010s that like many dinosaurs were feathered and probably quite colorful.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's the bird-like hips, but it seems to me that a lot of the dinosaurs that were ornithischian also had beaks.
Mhm.
Like, what are they called? The the class of dinosaurs with the shield-like skull, the Triceratops family. I forget what they're called. They're part of the. I don't know which one of these terms is supposed to describe the the freaking head, the skull shape.
I'm sorry, I was not nearly enough of a dinosaur nerd to know like any of these terms.
Ceratopsid. That makes sense. Why would it not be that one?
I don't know, why would it not be that one?
Ceratopsian dinosaurs. Wait, hornface. Wait, that.
I don't know what ceratopsian even means. I don't know.
What?
I don't have an
What
inkling.
the?
I don't know much about dinosaurs.
I was a dinosaur.
Oh,
I
shit,
liked
Ryan's a
dinosaurs as
dinosaur?
kid. I was a dinosaur.
That's going on the
kid.
notepad.
Oh my god.
I'm learning
Yes, I
a
was a
lot about my
dinosaur
friends
kid.
this episode.
My favorite dinosaur, it was always the Brontosaurus, until it was like, that wasn't a real dinosaur, until they said, no, wait, it actually is its own dinosaur, and so I guess I like the Brontosaurus still.
Nice.
It's a fun one. I like the long neck and the long tail, man, and the quadrupedal nature of it.
It's a nice dinosaur.
It is. Everyone's like, I like the T-Rex, and you're like, wow, what a normie, am I right? In the world of dinosaur kids, the people who say that the T-Rex is their favorite dinosaur.
On your elementary school class, was there like slander about whose favorite dinosaur
No,
was?
these are obviously all my own thoughts that I kept to myself, because
Were you trash
obviously-
talking other kids for their dinosaur favorites?
obviously the kids who liked the T-Rex were the basic dinosaur lovers. Because they just like it's all big and it's got sharp teeth. And it eats things. It's so cool. And it can
I
kill anything.
always liked the Triceratops. Is that also a normie dinosaur?
No, I can respect a Triceratops. I can respect a Triceratops.
Because I like
dinosaur.
rhinos and it looks like a rhino.
That makes sense to me. But you see, like, yeah, but people who are just like, I like the T-Rex, you're like, yeah, what a basic dinosaur lover. Didn't even dive that deep down. Just like, it's called the king dinosaur. I like the king dinosaur.
Is it
You're
called
like,
the king dinosaur?
well, yeah, Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, it's called the tyrant lizard, and also Rex means king. So tyrant.
So it's the
lizard
king lizard king.
It's just because it's big and ferocious, but it's like, there are better dinosaurs than that. There are ones that have better designs. Like it's got a tail and it's got giant jaws and it's got powerful
It
legs.
crunches
arms.
things and has funny
Its
hands.
arms are lacking. It's not an all-rounder.
No. Couldn't
It's
be
got
a
nothing
Strive
for
character.
defense. Yeah,
Tiny arms.
a big head and tiny arms. And chances are its jaws weren't that powerful either because its head was so big. And in order to have any sort of actual good biting power, to actually to have good biting power, you need to have facial muscles that
Yeah.
are able to support that giant jaw and head.
From my rudimentary dinosaur knowledge, I was under the impression that a T-Rex mostly was just a scavenger who screamed at other dinosaurs and tackled them for things that were already dead.
Yeah, it's just kind of big, and that's all.
Because it's got good legs.
Yeah, that's it. It's probably a good runner, and it can eat things. That's like what its own. It's all its functionality is.
Can run, can eat. I'm gonna put that
Yeah.
on my next job resume.
Therefore, it can live, but it's not an effective. It's not an effective design.
I think everything that was existent was effective to an extent.
Well, obviously, none of those things are effective because they all got wiped out and died because of a single natural disaster, and so
A single natural disaster. Almost everything, every time there was a natural disaster, was just gone.
Yeah, well, that means that the life form, the organisms that were existing at the time couldn't adapt well enough, and so they all died out. And that's what the dinosaurs are.
Almost
Couldn't
every single
adapt
thing
to
that's...
meteors.
So,
Yes, meteors and
Yeah.
kicking dust up into the atmosphere, blocking the sun
Yeah.
out. They're cold-blooded, reptiles, and so they
just
died.
got really chilly and there's nothing to
Yeah.
eat.
Yep.
Yeah, almost every single thing that's really old and has existed that long is just like something that lives really deep in the ocean, just because historically the ocean is ridiculously stable.
Yeah.
It's just like natural disasters just don't affect the ocean.
Water is just too difficult to penetrate.
Yeah.
But the plesiosaur, an aquatic dinosaur-looking reptile that was supposed to have roamed the seas, did die, though. It doesn't exist. Probably because
It was fucking huge.
it's huge and not very functional. The freaking neck did not... The fact that it had flippers did not really circumvent the fact that it's got a long neck and tail like a brontosaurus or a typical sauropod. That it's not a good design. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Like, sea turtles are a better design than that because they're more hydrodynamic.
Really, the thing about seeing what underwater things would exist is the trend seems to be that underwater huge carnivores just do badly.
Yeah.
It's like, because what's the biggest underwater carnivore right now? Orca?
The blue
like a
whale is the
tuna-
largest.
Is the blue whale actually a carnivore? I thought that
It's
was...
carnivorous. It eats krill.
Oh, I see. I thought it was
Yeah.
just a filter feeder like most other whales.
Nah. It
I see.
uses the bristles to catch krill, and then it eats those things. Honestly, I don't
That's
know
still
how
kind
much-
of a filter feeder.
Yeah, it is, but...
I mean,
it's
something that
still
actually
neat.
engages in, like, a chase. I guess goes in, It's not that the other ones aren't carnivores. I guess more of a predator. A large
Yeah.
predator. Is a
The
very
orca might be the
unsuccessful...
largest one.
The orca goes for, like, seals.
Yeah.
And I
And
think
seals are
I
also
think orcas are
carnivores.
bigger than, like, the biggest carnivorous sharks.
Yeah. Maybe the whale shark, though.
Unless, I
It's
don't know,
called
is
the
there
whale
like a
shark.
really fucking huge kind of tuna? No, I don't think tunas get that big.
They're big for fish.
Yeah, giant carnivores tend to be really bad because there's like a lot of gigantic carnivore predators that are just gone.
They're just not effective, I guess.
Yeah, there's not enough shit
not
to
a lot
eat.
of them. Yeah.
It's too hard.
Too difficult. Use
Yeah.
up too much energy. Well, that's why, well, like the food chain and how that works, right? Is that most likely, once you get to like the second level, once you get to like, what is it, the second level
Yeah.
organism or something like that, as you go higher up the food chain, there's less and less, the population is less and less of those organisms because they're harder to support, and so only a
Yeah.
few ever survive.
Only a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know. Like, part of me is surprised that it like doesn't work at all. That there'd just be like a really big carnivore that would just like eat whales, you know? But that just like doesn't happen. It in like every environment, there just seems to be like big herbivore that has no problems in the world
Yeah.
because the carnivores
that's-
just can't get big enough to eat that herbivore.
Yeah. And well, being herbivorous is, I mean, it's talking
It's
about
much easier. It's
plant-based
more
diets.
energy efficient.
Yeah, plant-based diets are more sustainable than carnivorous diets.
Yeah.
And so, it's better for the environment. Oh God, am I going to preach for plant-based
Carnivores
diets?
are also the environment.
They are, but the thing is that I don't know, their source of food isn't reliable.
Yeah. They're the ones who play these weird games for their food instead of just munching on green things.
Yeah. I mean, the most successful, intelligent animal in the entire world is omnivorous, and some of them are herbivorous because they partake in plant-based diets.
Yeah.
So, obviously, herbivoration. God, that sounds like a really weird. Herbivoration does not sound like a word.
Herb brothers.
Herb brothers. Well, yeah, obviously, the ability to consume plant material is quite valuable in a long-surviving organism
Yeah.
because the most populous organism on the planet can do that.
Yeah. Most omnivorous animals don't really use the carnivore side all that much, just like occasionally eat bugs. Maybe like scavenge something. Because it's like a lot of the omnivorous bears like will just never hunt anything. It's like gorillas really never hunt anything.
Yeah. Well, some bears, the grizzly bears, will,
Yeah.
catch salmon.
Yeah, that's a less common thing for a bear to do. Grizzlies
Yeah.
are kind of interesting because they do that like almost always if they can, really.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much every other bear will go like, holy fuck, fruit. There's a dead bird over here, score. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And there's the
animal
extremes. The
kingdoms.
pandas are just like all herbivore. And
Yeah,
then
the thing
the
is
polar
that-
bears are just like all carnivore.
The thing about pandas is that I don't believe they're actually bears. Hold on. I thought that was a thing
Really?
about them.
I was under the impression they were, but it's not like I've factually checked. Because there's red pandas, which are not bears.
They're
But I thought
bears.
pandas were bears.
Okay, so they are true bears. So for decades, the precise taxonomic classification of the giant panda was under debate because it shares characteristics with both bears and raccoons, like the red panda. However, molecular studies indicate that the giant panda is indeed a true bear, so it is a part of the family Ursidae. So it is a bear.
Cool. Welcome to the Bear Club, Bear.
Well, I can talk about pandas as well because I think pandas, alongside other animals, are stupid and we don't need them.
I mean, pandas were doing great when there was more nature, but with the rise of humanity, they're not doing well. But then humanity is like, wow, we love this adorable bear.
It's
not And then even they've that spent-
cute.
And they've spent actual billions of dollars to make sure that this bear exists more. While so many other species have just gone extinct that have an arguably much more significant impact on various environments.
Yeah, but no, we gotta play God because we want to see the cute ones, the pretty ones. Those are the ones that deserve to live. God, humans are awful, aren't they? They just like all the pretty stuff.
Yeah,
Why
it's
is human
like,
society so based off of beauty? Why are beauty standards so prevalent in human society? Jeez.
and the weird thing is we even agree to it to an extent because there's some species that we just like don't think twice at like effectively guaranteeing that they'll go extinct. Like there's a lot of species of frog that live like on one mountaintop pond. Like the entire history of this frog is this mountaintop pond. This frog lives here. And then it's like the second humanity touches that pond, they're basically just done. And they just do it. And they don't even think twice about it. It's not a problem. And then they say, well, that species was just going to go extinct anyway. And then there's shit like the panda.
I have so many hang-ups with pandas because they if anything, pandas are trying to die. Is honestly what I'm seeing. They're trying to kill themselves. They're trying to go extinct by themselves because aside from having probably the worst diet ever in bamboo that offers no nutritional value to them, but for some reason they're just obsessed with the stuff. The fact that you can't even try to inseminate a female panda in order to make them give birth to another panda is sometimes a completely wasted effort because the female panda can just choose to not get pregnant or stop their pregnancy. And so if they don't want to reproduce, they'll just not reproduce.
Yeah. I mean, that's like the adorable version that like gets mass marketed to people. I mean, it's like, really it just means that there aren't any pandas that think they're in an environment to raise children because they want to be in huge swaths of forest, and that just doesn't exist anymore.
So I'm going to raise this baby in this cage that I'm kept in.
Yeah, they're like, no, that sounds awful.
That sounds dumb. Why are you trying to do this to me, stupid humans?
Yeah.
Why can't I just die in peace? Trying to give me a baby?
Yeah, pretty much. Pandas are just like way less efficient koalas and raccoons and sloths.
I also hate koalas. Because they're in the same boat as pandas. And, I mean, you can make the argument that
There's some
pandas
species
are
of koala that are actually doing quite well, but yeah, they're weird.
I do not like koalas. I don't think they're cute at all. They look dumb.
Oh no,
ugly.
how do I put it? The cuteness of a koala can only be gained from like a zoo or from a distance. If you go next to a koala, they're disgusting. They make awful noises. Their shit is horrid because they eat poison all day. The babies are always covered in shit because that's how they eat. They eat their parents' poop.
Oh, I did not even know that.
Yeah, koalas are vile, man. It's like
experience
flamingos.
is you're having
Flamingos are only beautiful in the zoo, but they literally live in mud. They're naturally just like drawn to the smelliest environment possible. That's why zoos never have like ceilings for flamingos, even though they could easily get out. Flamingos just like want to stand in the most disgusting water they could find. Nothing eats flamingos because they're gross.
Man, Eric's learning so many things today. Like
I
the
want
fact
to
that
learn. I don't know if I wanted to learn these things today.
Pandas pandas can stop being pregnant. Koalas literally raise their kids in their own poop, and he learned how to pronounce the word tie.
Tie. I'm getting better.
Good work with that.
Bow tie. Tie. That's how I say it.
Tie.
Wait, hold on. So, what about the fact that so what are the color of like flamingos raised in captivity? Are they still pink?
Yeah, they're still pink.
So they still eat a diet that is similar to what they eat. I guess that makes sense if they eat something similar to what they eat in the
Yeah,
wild.
zoos try to go for accuracy where possible, and it's not like krill are even remotely expensive. That's why like almost every zoo has flamingos, because they're like one of the cheapest animal to make. You just literally make a pile of horrible, disgusting mud and fill it with krill. And then you also attract ducks to your zoo, which makes people happy.
Yay, ducks.
Ducks. I like ducks.
Yeah, everyone loves ducks. I don't know why.
Did you know that their penises are like all corkscrewy?
Do you
Huh?
know that ducks are like actually super effective fish hunting predators?
I know that.
Yeah, did
What,
you know
what,
also?
what, what was that about the dicks?
Okay, so during mating season, what happens is that during mating seasons, it has to do with the fact that for some reason female ducks are also really hard to impregnate because apparently their vaginal opening or their I guess it's more their well, what do you call it? I guess they're the vaginal walls. The pathway to their uterus is
Okay.
labyrinthine in nature. And so, in
Okay.
order to navigate this labyrinth that is the inside of the pathway to a duck's uterus, the male ducks have to have a penis that is able to navigate that, and so it's twisty and corkscrewy so that it can navigate the vaginal maze, the cloacan maze.
Yeah,
call
ducks
it.
are weird.
Yeah, and once mating season is over, their penises fall off.
What?
Yeah, they detach. Because they grow them at the beginning of every mating season, and they detach at the end of the mating season. Can you imagine if a duck had to, like, swim around with that thing? It'd be horrible. They wouldn't survive nearly as long as they did. So they developed the ability to both grow and detach their genitalia.
That's
It's very weird, yes, but it's an
Yeah.
effective
very
system.
weird.
We're going to title this episode, Eric Learns About Animals.
Oh god.
And Thailand. Mainly just the
Zoology
animals.
lesson.
Yeah, Eric's zoology lesson. Let's see, what other fun but gross animal facts can we think of that Eric might not know?
I don't know anything about animals.
Okay.
I've barely interacted with any animals in my entire life. I remember I've only pet a dog and cat exactly one time, and it was the same day and like the same hour. And it was at college in one of the provost houses because I was invited for some tea party for some reason. And they had a black dog and a black cat there. And it was the first time I actually pet a dog and a cat. So,
Nice.
but besides that, I've not had any interactions with any animals at all.
What did you do? What were your interests as a kid? Because you weren't a dinosaur kid. You didn't pet any animals until you were an adult.
I wanted to become a doctor and I played piano.
Ah,
Very
is
good.
is that it?
I don't remember much of what I liked back then.
I mean, I can say so many things. As you can see, I mean, I am a dinosaur. I liked dinosaurs.
He's
I
a
wasn't-
dinosaur.
I wasn't even a normie dinosaur lover. I liked the Brontosaurus.
Elitist
No one
dinosaur
liked the
level?
Brontosaurus.
You
I
were
can
the
get behind
gatekeeper to
people
other
who like
dinosaur lovers.
literally anyone who likes the T-Rex is just a basic dinosaur lover. You're getting called out, but it's the truth. If you like the T-Rex, you're basic. You didn't dive that far because honestly, the T-Rex is the least cool dinosaur. The only thing cool about it is its name, and that's it. Every other dinosaur, I would argue, is way cooler than the T-Rex. It's just big. That's the only thing it's got going for it. And I get that kids are like, I like the big thing, and I like that it has like, the
Big.
sharp teeth. But I mean, maybe it has something to do with.
Hey,
me.
they're
I
the
like a
one
lot
who
of-
got a movie made after him.
There were a bunch of dinosaurs in Jurassic Park,
Yeah,
though.
but the T-Rex.
I would say the Velociraptors were more relevant than the T-Rex.
No.
The T-Rex didn't even kill anyone.
No. But the
Its
T-Rex
jaws
went...
and teeth weren't strong enough. Yeah, well, it didn't actually kill anyone. People died from the Velociraptors. No one died from the T-Rex. The one
Yeah,
person who
whatever.
got bitten by a T-Rex or was held in a T-Rex's mouth, he survived.
What a cool guy.
Yeah, but no, it's because the biting power of a T-Rex isn't that strong. It's just big. That's it. It has no killing potential. Unless it uses its feet, but of course it wouldn't, because it thinks, my big giant head and teeth must be enough, but it's not. Stupid T-Rex. Freaking idiot.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I more liked animals. I didn't really care about extinct animals. I liked animals, though. I still do.
Actually, I'm wondering, what was, because like I know a lot of people, some like adults, but also like why were a lot of kids? I won't say all of them, because obviously I'm sitting next to two people who didn't have any interest in dinosaurs, and the other one didn't seem to have any interest in anything at all, besides
Hey,
piano
doctoring.
and playing piano and becoming a doctor.
I played
the doctor
piano
part
when I was a
didn't
kid,
have-
but I hated
It
it.
did not happen, but that seems like my only interest was I'm gonna be a doctor someday. You just sit in a room. I'm imagining little Eric sitting in like a small room. There's a piano there, and he's just like slamming it with his hands, and he's saying, "I'm gonna be a doctor someday," and he does that for 18 years, and then he goes to college.
Oh, very good.
I
Yeah,
mean,
if I became a doctor, I could be Doctor Who.
you could be Doctor
Ah,
Who.
shit.
You would have been a Doctor Who. Why
It
didn't you
didn't
do
happen.
that? Why didn't you
didn't
become a
happen.
doctor?
Okay, I'm actually happy I didn't become a doctor because of all the crap that is going on. It seems so scary
Yeah.
to be a doctor right now.
Why'd you spend so much time playing piano? Why didn't you study to be a doctor more
Oh, I don't even
hardly?
play piano anymore. I stopped playing piano ever since college because I couldn't bring it with me.
Yeah, I stopped
Yeah.
piano when I started college, too.
Okay, back to the question that I was going to say, though. What was so enticing about dinosaurs that most kids were, like, into them?
I don't know,
What is it about
giant
them?
lizards.
I guess that's
Because
it.
you see lizards around all the time, and you're like, holy fuck, one but 10 feet tall. I think it's just a really big animal cool, to be honest.
That's probably it.
Yeah, I mean, I had a friend in high school through elementary school, and she, her entire time going through all of it, loved dinosaurs and wanted nothing more to be a paleontologist, and she actually is going to college to do that now.
Oh,
So it
that's
just
sick.
stuck.
That's very sick.
Yeah.
I don't know, a lot of kids like it.
Yeah, what is so
I mean, a lot of
fascinating
kids
about
just
them?
generically like animals, too.
I guess so, but dinosaurs was a craze. Most kids have some kind of dinosaur craze.
I don't know, I
especially-
blame the dinosaur toys. There's so many dinosaur toys and dinosaur patterns.
It could be, but like, I mean, it still doesn't really
I
explain.
think it's
why...
very easy to control in like at a societal level what a kid will think is exciting by just making toys and designs look like that.
Well, the thing is that I feel like that's not it's not that's not in that's more in response to a dinosaur craze, not the cause of a dinosaur craze. So there must have been something that just caused dinosaurs to just be like, oh my god, kids think this is really cool. And then they're like, well, we got to capitalize on the fact that a lot of
I
kids
don't know.
like this, and so we're going to make toys and bed sheets and everything. And race car
Probably
beds that are also dinosaurs.
some combination of like it's inherently very exciting to a child because it's an animal, which is like interesting and different. You maybe have a pet, but like it's also related to a science, so a parent will like generally encourage it, as opposed to like if they're really into race cars, then it's like, yeah, it's just a toy, you know? But like you get I feel like a lot of kids at one time have gotten the line, you know, if you're really interested in dinosaurs, that's something that you could like study when you grow up, you know?
I guess that could be encouraged as well. I also did like race cars at some point. I was into NASCAR. Although the thing is that I didn't really care. I thought the sport and watching it on TV was boring. I guess that's just because I was like, oh, cars, they're cool.
I like
They're
Hot
fun.
Wheels. I didn't like real cars or NASCAR
Yeah.
very much. I liked Hot Wheels though.
Yeah, I didn't even know what the guys. Actually, I think what happened was like I don't know what it was, but I was disappointed when I actually saw the faces of the racers who race their cars. I'm like, oh, they're just people. I was
Damn, I hoped they worked like Transformers.
Something like that. I guess like some amount of kayfabe was broken because of it. Are you aware of the term kayfabe? Anyone?
What is cake?
So kayfabe it's a pro wrestling term. It's the suspension of disbelief and the full belief that you're kind of into something. I guess it's the same kind of thing that gets you engaged in a piece of fiction. I would argue that that's some amount of kayfabe, but it's different with pro wrestling because in pro wrestling they're actual people
Yeah.
and they're real people.
Closer
And
to
so,
like actors in movies, I'd say. Some form of
Yeah.
live theater. The modern version of live theater is pro wrestling.
yeah. And so kayfabe is like that suspension of disbelief where you kind of accept everything that happens in like pro wrestling as non-fiction, even though you obviously know that it is fiction, so that you get, you get hyped for the big moments. You
Yeah.
kind of don't care that
You
everything's
accept it.
staged. Yeah.
So your suspension of disbelief.
Yeah. And, I mean, why did I say that again? What was I talking about? I've just completely forgot.
You were
Sorry,
talking about
so-
wrestlers and dinosaurs. I don't know, man.
Oh, yeah, that's
And
right. With
NASCAR.
race cars. Yeah. I think seeing the faces of those people kind of just destroys that for me. It's the same thing with, like, I guess, voice actors who are in a lot of things. Now it's it's like, oh, it's that person, so you picture that person doing the voice rather than getting engrossed in the character that they're playing. And that's like, it's gonna happen because obviously, if you have a good actor, people are gonna want to use them and they might garner some popularity. But at the same time, I have this like argument that like, it would be more special if that person didn't come up so often. Because like the thing is that also, a lot of voice act I guess the main example that I can think of currently is Space Jam 2. I did not watch the movie, but I saw that commercial where they're like featuring LeBron James, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, and Zendaya as Lola Bunny, and you're like, wait, hold on, why was the
You're
only
not just
person...
gonna give a shout out to who voices Bugs and Daffy?
Yeah, they're only saying like, oh look, it's
they
Zendaya, she's playing Lola.
Understand, like just like LeBron James, Daffy and Bugs are just them. That's them.
That's the thing though, is that it's kayfabe. It's got to be some amount of kayfabe. And the thing is that by showing that this person, like, if you advertise that Zendaya or some person is voicing this character, it's kind of broken. You're no longer thinking this like, oh, it's just Lola Bunny. You're thinking, oh no, it's Zendaya in a Lola Bunny costume, skin, CG thing.
I don't love the celebrity voice actor movement. I think it's kind of weird.
Yeah, and I don't like the advertising of it as that, because then you lose you lose that kayfabe when you're like, oh, that's obvious.
I don't even really care if they advertise it or not. It's just like me watching a movie and I'm like, that guy's just The Rock. What happened?
Yeah, like
I've had this issue too. Like very recently, I watched the new Matrix movie, starring Keanu Reeves as Neo, and all I saw throughout the movie when I saw Neo, like, oh, it's Keanu Reeves. It doesn't look like Neo to me; it just looks like Keanu Reeves to me. It was just a very weird movie experience, just seeing Keanu Reeves do all this stuff.
The thing is that I think there's a disconnect between. Well, I understand what you mean, because like if you see Keanu Reeves in other things and you probably saw him from like other movies first, and you're like, I like Keanu Reeves as an actor, then you're like,
no,
yeah.
I never even saw him as an actor before. I only saw him because of what's that game that flopped? Cyberpunk.
Oh, Cyberpunk.
And the internet was blowing up over him being like such a nice, wholesome person, like you're beautiful, something like that. I think that's what he said. So that's how I knew about Keanu. And then I see him in the Matrix and I'm like, oh, it's just Keanu Reeves.
He was always been a part of the Matrix series, but I get it. You see them as a person and you're like, well, this is different, because like if the character behaves very differently from how you think the actor would behave, then you're like, whoa, they're being real mean or something like that.
Yeah, celebrity culture has always been something I don't understand at all. It's like, I don't care about these people, man.
Yeah, and then there's the other end of the spectrum on like the VTuber stuff, which I think is also interesting. Where on places like HoloLive and stuff, like big VTuber organizations and platforms, where VTubers get canceled if like their real identity or face or like stuff gets leaked out. It's like completely a different mindset of the kayfabe you're talking about, of seeing these famous people in like these movies and stuff. Whereas in VTubers, you don't know who they are, but that's why you like them.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is that when they're playing a character, I think it works better when it's not a live-action medium. So like VTubers or any animated thing, or things where, it's not just a bunch of live action, it's not a live-action performance. It's the fact, whenever they advertise you or you listen to it and you realize like, oh, it's just this celebrity, I think the illusion is broken, and now you're not as immersed or engaged in the movie as you could be. Mm-hmm. If everything was like, I am believing that this is a character, and this is a character that's being played well. The problem is that a lot of celebrity actors don't do well with voice acting because they're not used to it. Voice acting has its own thing about it that makes it different, and you have to get into the character. You can't just be Zendaya as Lola Bunny. You have to be Lola Bunny. You just happen to be Zendaya. I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know how well Zendaya did, but the way that I usually assume that those celebrity things go is, oh yeah, it's just Zendaya, except she looks like Lola Bunny. And then, I guess like when the illusion is broken, people are like, oh my god, I can't believe it, I hate this now. Or it's, I don't know, it could be anything. I can think of like a multitude of different reasons why people get disappointed when the cover is blown for a VTuber. It doesn't make any sense, but sure. But yeah, it's something similar, where it's just like, I guess it takes away from that illusion. It breaks the illusion when you realize like, oh, it's this person.
I guess. It's strange. I think it's very strange how you react to it.
Yeah. But anyway, I think we have run on for quite a bit of time. So I think it's time to sign off for this week. You can watch and listen to us live every Saturday at twitch.tv at Shatterpoint Games, starting at around 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, maybe. Maybe we'll start doing that. I don't know. We'll see. But if you can't make it, no worries. New episodes go up on Monday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on all your favorite podcasting platforms, as well as on YouTube at youtube.com/breaktimepodcast. Follow us on Twitter at ShatterpointGS if you want. Join us next week when we talk about whatever Jake wants to talk about. But until then, break time over.